Okay guys, we're back out here. It's Sunday. See, we got the blanket up, we got the hood off. Actually we got the grill, we got everything out except for the headlights. I'm still laying in there. Just cleaned up this edge right here, the little boogie that was hanging off here. Okay, now we're going to work on this bottom lip right here, and we're going to bring it up a little bit and put a tiny piece of metal in there so we can fill that. See it right there? And then a little bit of reshaping we have to do, we'll do with some filler after we put the tiny little piece of metal in there. If I would have stayed forward another 1/8 of an inch, I wouldn't have to be doing any of this, but I needed the clearance, so better than most. Okay, I think I'm metal roughed in. Let's give this just a little sanding. Then we'll go underneath and, well, I did it standing up against the wall. But we'll go in and, I guess give it some short strand. So, it's hard. It's hard. It was a hard one. Okay, we're going to make that into something. I pushed this in a little. So this should all be below. We join the hood here, 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 and here. That's it on the fiberglass right here. That's all you need. Okay, we're roughing in. Still not firm enough to sand it, but we're getting there. I think we're going to be able to do it. Maybe another swipe after we sand that down a little. So that'll make me happy. We're looking to put the bottom cover back on this thing. You know, that material, and if you follow the outline, you can see where it goes. And then just trim it nicely right here. So you will see all this in here, but you shouldn't see this. But you will see all this. That doesn't mean I'm not going to prep it, but I think it looks neater, more like you can if you put that thing back on. It has the holes ready for the light. So let's get this done, and then we'll decide what else we're going to do. So you can see where that was sitting. I wanted to put tape on it. That's why I never finished sanding those. I knew that cheap Chinese rubber would absorb right in, cause fish eyes. So I never finished sanding either one of those. Yeah, forgot to put the tape on. I think we got a good rough in there. I think that's going to turn into something. I was given advice years ago when I was working on the black wagon, and I moved the fender wells forward, and I had to refabricate the whole bottom of the fender. I'm going back a while now, so I had to refabricate this whole bottom of the fender, and one fender didn't even have a bottom, okay, because we used it for mock-up years before and something else. So I had to sit there and fabricate it, and the point was, it sounds easy, but as you're sliding the fender well forward, the fender changes. Obviously the fender's much smaller and rounder in the front, and most cars are flatter in the back. So as you come forward, it doesn't match. Not only that, a lot of fenders go up on the bottom. So as you go, the wheel well gets too long. And I was figuring it out, or I was in the process of figuring out, and a wise old body man told me, what are you worried about? You're making your own lines the way it has to be. Don't worry about what was there. He goes, you're reshaping everything. You could put it however you want. There is no right or wrong. And he's absolutely right. There is no right or wrong when I make this. This could have a big dip in it. This could have a lump in it. This could bow this way. It doesn't matter. There is no right or wrong. It's never going to be perfectly flat. You took some of it out, but there is no right or wrong. He's got to make it pleasing to the eye. And that was basically what we were talking about, because it was a very fine body line. It was like this long. And it would disappear right where the wheel well came around. So, I don't have a wheel well to show you, but I ain't peeling this up. So, how the wheel well flares out, when the body line would hit it, it would disappear. And I was trying to get that and recreate it. And the guy's like, why? Just do what you're going to do on the front of the fender and call it good. He's absolutely right. you have nothing to compare it to. What are you going to compare it to? A fender that the wheel well's back 4.5 inches further? You can't compare it. And once he said that, it opened up a whole thing. It was like going out into a field. I know it sounds stupid, but I had 1,000 options and no pressure. And as soon as I thought of that as I was doing it, I just reshaped the bottom of the fender, called it good, and moved on. And I was able to copy it to the other side. And we called it good. So with that, this is set up enough. I'm going to put another skimmer on here and then bring it down. I still think some spots have a little too much, but we'll work on it. I don't want to go too crazy on it. And we got metal showing in here. So we'll get it sooner or later. What's the big deal? Okay, I think we're pretty much good. Just had a little low spot there. I just put a little there. We'll let that set a little and I'll sand it off. That's good for under the hood. I left a gap here because this isn't feathering too well. So I left a gap on both sides so I could just come in here and sand that down, whatever we're going to wind up doing. The rest of the hood, the paint is intact where we're going to see it. But so be it. Like I said, I want to get that last little bit and I think we'll be good. And all you have is a little thing right there, which is fine. So that's going to look a lot better than it did. That big gaping hole, jagged hole. And the Bondo's not that thick on it. It's very thin. It's very thin. It's just skimmed over. That's why I brought it out so far. I just skimmed it. Okay, there you go, guys. Nothing that 20 coats of high build won't correct. Yeah, I call that good. We're good. That's good. It's fucking underneath the hood already. With that said, I'm leaving the hood like this. It ain't gonna go nowhere. Then we'll prop it up in the strength of the ribs and we'll DA the bottom of this thing. And that's what we're gonna do. So I'm figuring white with the black thing in the center and I'll cut out to the hole and that's it, done. That's what I'm figuring. But okay guys, I'm out of here.